Ever wondered how huge companies like Domino's manage their business processes across thousands of outlets with a robust ERP software? Hi there, finance professionals. Welcome to our new series where we break down the need and importance of each step in the ERP implementation process with the help of an example.
We are going to study it with the example of a pizza, which will help us remember and understand the topic very well. So, once there was a roadside pizza seller. His name was Sandy's Pizza Parlor. उसके दुकान के बाहर बहुत लोगों की लाइन होती थी. रोज शाम को there used to be hundreds of people in the queue just to eat his wonderful pizza. So one day he thought that अगर उसके दुकान में इतना भीड़ है, then why isn't he able to compete with other big tycoons in that industry like Domino's and Pizza Hut? So when he thought about this, भले ही उसके इधर लोगों का डिमांड ज्यादा है, but what is happening is he has a roadside shop. The ingredients which he is using are of very inferior quality, and his pizza base is of very low quality. And the only good thing about his pizza is the highly unhealthy amount of cheese which he is grating on his pizza. So he realized that because of this, he is unable to charge high prices like other business leaders in that industry. So one day he thought that now he will take his business to another level and compete with Domino's and Pizza Hut and even overpower them. So he decided to revamp his entire process in order to do this. Now let us see what happens next. So the first thing which he does is कोई भी ईआरपी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन या फिर उसको उसकी प्रोसेस अगर रिवैम्प करनी है, so the first thing which he has to do is retrospection. That is, currently what are the practices which he is following? Currently वो पिज्जा कैसे बना रहा है? Currently what kind of ingredients he is using? Currently उसका शॉप की लोकेशन कैसा है? That retrospection, that self analysis he needs to do, which takes us to our first point of as is process documentation. This is the first step which we need to do in ERP implementation. As is process documentation captures the current state of business process, providing a clear depiction of the existing stakeholders, their roles, and the steps involved. It helps us understand unique business practices which are peculiar to a particular business or an industry. Of course, from the beginning, we won't be having the knowledge of very typical business practices that are being followed in an industry or even by a particular business. This is understood by us with the help of as-is process documentation. The as-is process, the basic purpose of as-is process documentation is to understand the current process and identify the pain points, inefficiencies, or shortcomings in that process. This will help the businessman to devise a better and more effective revamped process based on what is the current process and what are the shortcomings in the current process. It acts as a foundation and the starting point for our entire ERP implementation journey. So, moving on further, there are three methods of as-is process documentation which we are going to discuss. So, the first one is flowchart. Flowchart basically refers to the visual representation of the as-is process. This visual representation is very easy to understand as compared to text and helps in identifying the inefficiencies and gaps in the process. And it also ensures that no aspect of the process is missed in the flowchart. Next, the next method of documenting the as-is process is the Word document. And this is basically the as-is process which we mentioned in our BRD. And another method of recording the as-is process is in a tabular format, which can be maintained in an Excel sheet. This tabular format will have the following fields, as I have mentioned. Firstly, it will be the process. So, for example, if you are covering the process O2C, then you will write O2C here. Then the sub-process. So, if the sub-process is lead generation, then you will write it here. After that, in the step, you will describe the step in detail. For example, the customer fills the landing page and then he clicks on submit, and after which the lead is created. And then we will also mention the responsible party for this action. So in this case, the responsible party is the customer. Next, we will mention the tool or system used for this, which in this case might be the CRM software which our client is using. Then we will mention what is the input and output in this process. So the input in this process is the details which were filled by the customer in the landing page, and the output can be the creation of lead in the CRM system. And in the remarks section, we can write any other important things which we feel we need to mention in the as is process document. So this was about the as is process documentation.